I'm a little bit spoiled with Brazil and Colombia and some other spots I've been to. But the good thing about going to these places is when I'm back here in the States, I don't get phased by the regular chick
Yeah, yeah,
because a
yeah.
lot of these guys have never been exposed to that type of beauty.
Hey, Jamie Woods, we here to travel and motivate. No curry, we just trying to keep our minds in a golden state. We answer to nobody but the Lord, we control our fate. Too many things to see just to sit in a hole and bake. We growing, ayy.
Passport pros. The next question I have for you is, what was your experience with the regular girls out in Brazil?
Regular. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. In Brazil, I went straight for the pros in Brazil.
Hey, honestly, passport pros, I'm gonna give you this, man. I really appreciate the honesty, man, because I'll interview certain people and they'll pretend like they never met a pro in their lives.
Oh my god,
You know what I mean?
so
And I hate. I'm not saying I hate those type of people, but it's like, man, just be honest, brother. We all dealt with pros. It's just the thing is, man, is the American mindset. Because here in the States, that term is just so taboo for some odd reason. Even though OnlyFans is popular and all this shit is popular,
Yeah.
Strip clubs are popular. But yet, when you say that you're overseas and hanging out with pros, for some reason you get labeled the bad person, the creep, the S tourist. Like it's so common overseas. Pretty much every other country has some form of sex work or prostitution that is legal, that people can partake in. And these systems were created for the locals, not really for, of course, the tourists. Eventually ended up becoming that way, like Colombia, for example. But I just never understood that whole let's shame men for doing these type of things. Like, if you're being honest about it, you're not harming anyone, what's the problem?
I think it's more shameful to pay for an OnlyFans subscription
Yeah,
than
absolutely.
to do this. That's what I think.
Going to the strip club is the stupidest shit, bro. Ever since I went overseas, I just can't go to a strip club. My friends, like, some of them are big into that. And everybody, let's go to a strip club. And I'm like, no, man, why am I gonna waste $100,000s of dollars on these girls? Like, for what? Like, for a little lap dance or something? You know what I mean? You go to a spot like Colombia, Brazil, you'll pay a girl $100 and it'll be the best time ever and it'll just be for an hour, or maybe down south in Brazil, it'll probably be the whole night. But it's better, in my opinion, than go to a stupid strip club. For me, that's shameful. The fact that you're willing to spend a paycheck on a fucking stripper, or even worse, OnlyFans. That's stupid.
That's the worst for me. I think that's a part of our American culture that I don't understand. Like, why is it okay to like spend money on an OnlyFans girl and not to actually physically be with one? But at the same time, I think it's okay. Like, if you pay, but you also like vibe with them, it kind of makes it like normal in a way, and that to me isn't bad. It's like not creepy or anything. Like, as long as you're like vibing and stuff, then maybe there's like potential for something that's organic in the future.
Absolutely.
With the OnlyFans and the strippers, like, that'll never happen. So
yeah. I mean, all you said was facts, man. All you said was facts. Because the way I look at it, passport pros, is you're going to be paying for it regardless, anywhere you are on the planet. Guys here in the States want to shame passport bros, men that travel, because I don't like to put everyone in the same box, but they like to criticize us that travel to other countries and say, oh, you guys are paying for box over there. But what they lack to understand is that here in the States, they're paying top dollar for nothing. Like, they'll take these girls out on restaurants over here, top 5-star restaurants, spend hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars on a night out with them, and not even get a kiss on the cheek.
Dude,
I mean, they may get something the second, third date, and then they'll act like they didn't pay for it, but they did. So why not just cut to the chase and get to it? I mean, that's the way I view it.
I mean, that's what I think too. And yeah, like the stories that I hear about these, like you said, the guys take these girls out for like 2 or 3 dates, and the girls, they're probably doing this to like a bunch of different guys, right?
Yep.
They probably have like 3 or 4 on rotation. They're getting free dinners and whatnot, and these guys are hoping that they're going to be the lucky ones. And then most of the time, these girl. I hope I don't sound like terrible about
Absolutely
saying
not.
this or anything, but most of these girls have guys on the side that they're banging while they're having these other guys paying for their living expenses and their dinners. So I don't know why that's normalized in American culture, but the sooner someone can travel abroad and, kind of like open their mind, I think it'll be a lot better for them in the long run.
But I also do think, to piggyback off of what you said, I think traveling overseas is important for someone. And obviously there's different reasons, obviously, to, expand your horizons, all that. But if we're talking about dating right now, the reason why it's important is because you get to see high quality, high level of women overseas. Like Brazil, I don't think I've been anywhere on this planet that has a higher quality of just attractiveness and just sexiness and personality than Brazil. So I'm a little bit spoiled with Brazil and Colombia and some other spots I've been to. But the good thing about going to these places is when I'm back here in the States, I don't get fazed by the regular chick. Because a lot of these guys have never been exposed to that type of beauty and that type of femininity. When they're here in the States, they settle for low-hanging fruit. They take these girls out for 5-star restaurants. They're ungrateful. They're masculine, and I don't like to bash my American girls because I do have love for my American girls too. But there are a selective good amount of women here in the States that are ungrateful, terrible, just masculine, just feminist, all that, right? These guys will take these girls out, and like what I said, you'll spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, not get anything. Right? These girls don't feel like they owe you anything. However, they expect you to take them to a 5-star restaurant. God forbid you take them to a cheesecake factory. You're not going to get a second date, bro. They might not even go inside with you. They're going to ask you to drop them back off home.
I mean, going back to what you said about some American girls being cool, like, absolutely, I 100% agree with you. Like, like I met girls from, other states. Like, there's a girl in Philly that is like the coolest girl that I've ever met. So she's like totally down to earth. Doesn't care about money or status or anything like that, and that's very rare to find an American girl like that. So I'd have to say, if you do find an American girl like that, and you're probably gonna have a lot in common with her because you come from the same culture, especially if you're around the same age, like you grew up with the same things. So that's pretty rare, but they exist and they're out there. So if you come by one of those, definitely hang on to them.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't like bashing. I've never been about that. Like, I know there's guys and like, oh, American women are the worst, but I think there's a lot of amazing American women here. It's a ginormous country. Every state is different. It's like having 50 different states in one country, or 50 different. I'm bugging. 50 different countries in one country. That's what I meant. Every single state is almost like a different country with different culture, different rules, laws. So that's the thing, is to base it just on where you're from is a little unfair to a lot of girls here. Yeah. But that being said, I do have a preference for the girls overseas, especially the Brazilian girls, just because to me, I found out that is my type. That is the final boss for me when it comes to women, if you know what I mean. But if I find myself a great American girl or a Brazilian girl that lives in America, then cool, I'll settle with her. You know what I mean? Because I don't got to deal with, having to worry about, all right, where we're going to go. We're going to stay there, come here, language barrier, integrating them into the culture.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, I totally agree with you with the Brazilians being the final boss. As far as like their sensuality and their looks, top notch for sure.
And I dated, I think at one point, if you would have asked me that question, like, who do you think is the final boss of women in the planet? 2 years ago, just 2 years ago, I would have said Russian women. Because I dated a Russian girl. My ex was Russian from Moscow. And I was always so fascinated with them. But compared to Brazilian women, it's just like, oh man, it's just, they're beautiful, but just not that level, And I think you said something that's accurate, that's spot on. You said earlier about the Eastern European women where they have like blown up lips and stuff. And it's true. A lot of them got blown up lips. And I always found that to be like unattractive for me. Like some girls can pull it off, but it's just like, come on, man, you had beautiful lips as was. Like, why are you doing that?
It just has to be like very subtle. If they're gonna put Botox in, maybe just like a little bit, but not to the point where it looks like a duck
fish.
or, you know, it's like weird.